Shall I?
You do. I'll tell you what, you do the first bit.
Okay. Hello and welcome to episode 86 of I'm Fine, a positivity special.
Yes.
It's probably going to be our shortest ever.
Well, no, I just went to the car to get this book, didn't I? To refer to.
Yeah.
I bought this book specially
Is it your
for
book
the
of
positivity.
Is it a book of positivity?
It's shit.
What?
Positively shit.
Right.
We'll get it onto it later.
This is a super positive chat between myself, Damon, and Mr. Positive himself, Mark. In fact, well, this was going to be a negative that you were a little bit late.
Okay.
You were helping someone out, which is a positive thing.
Yes.
So there's a negative turned into a positive right there, wasn't it?
A mercy dash.
I was cursing you, I was.
Well, yeah. Was my excuse a good one?
Yeah, it was very good, actually, yeah. This is the chat around the subjects of health, wealth, well-being, fitness, sports, society, culture, world affairs, technology, science, and much, much, much more. Like the side of those vans, you see. You know, like John's Plumbing. You know, not just
no
a plumber.
job too big or small.
Plumbing and much, much more.
Yeah.
What? Bread and milk? I mean, what else are you doing, John?
No, just plumbing. And sorry, just to say what we're not having.
Well, yeah.
No C word. No reference to the C word.
Well, how are you going to cope?
I'll be fine.
You're talking about the word...
I'm not a one-trick pony. No, not the word your mum doesn't like.
Right, okay. No, she hates the word can't. Is that what you mean?
You were close. Walking on eggshells.
Yeah. We're all work in progress, and this podcast is no exception. In short, it's a poke at our perfectly imperfect lives. And if we can make just one person feel like they're not alone in all this
madness,
then our work here is done. Wasn't as good as your woohoo a minute ago.
You're not getting any more woohoos.
No, I realised.
You're going to put some reverb on the woohoo.
Yeah. Or not. Please subscribe to us and follow us on Instagram. Just search for I'm Finecast and we'll pop up before your very eyes. And just follow.
A ray of positivity into your drab and mundane lives.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's fun on there. How are you, Mark? I saw you this morning.
Yep.
That was a positive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was also a positive that I got there.
You got there and you trained well and you completed everything that was set out and you did well. Yeah, it was positive.
Yeah.
It's been a very full day with clients today, and I've tried to have this positivity special radiate
Right,
throughout every session.
For content? Or just...
Yeah, just to prove I can do it.
Right.
I think it's probably finished after you.
Right.
Yeah, no, I have. It's funny when you actually think, and this will come on to this, but I was actually thinking because we're going to talk about positivity, it was like during the day...
You were trying to find you were trying to find a positive outlook.
Yeah, which is really quite interesting.
Yeah.
My daughter said, 0 to 10, what are you?
Is that your phone?
Yeah, sorry, it's just because of the emergency that was
Right,
involved.
So I can't knock you.
The emergency services might be in touch with me.
Shitty face, check it, but it isn't. Telling me the emergency service is going to text you, saying thanks. 2 texts going, thanks for your help, Mr. Positive.
Okay, shall I read it then?
Yeah, please do.
I might have to censor it.
Please do.
Hi, Mark. I'm in the beep. It might be beep. Can you possibly beep, beep, beep? Beep, beep. Thanks so much, kiss. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That means nothing.
No, but that's personal, isn't it? I can't go reading that out.
There's no personal identifiable information in there.
Okay, the life I saved today...
The bit you missed out was context.
Yeah. So the person's life I saved today has just texted me.
Oh, hold on a minute. This has gone a bit...
I wasn't even first on scene. My major thing was putting the rabbit away. Well, okay, honestly.
Yes.
But
pet rabbit, just checking.
Pet rabbit.
Right, it wasn't a
vibrator.
Right.
Is that what you meant?
My mind just went, I mean, anything can happen these days. Most of the accidents are in the home, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, but Batman's not always first on the scene, is he? And he always gets the credit. So,
That's true.
Not all superheroes wear capes, Mark.
No, and actually that's a very daft text.
Most of them wear hoodies.
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger hoodies.
I've got too many layers on, actually. The hoodie's going to come off.
Would you like to...
yeah, I'll do it
Would you like to take your cape off?
Do you want to fill in?
I've got nothing to fill in with. I'm just going to watch you. So I get a flash of your torso. Oh, boo.
I'll just reply to that text. This is quite good pod, isn't it? People
I mean, it's...
Because because I've got borderline, that I don't always tell the truth. I bet there was a tiny percentage of you going, he's just made this whole thing up.
No, I don't. But no,
No?
not at all.
You should wise up then.
The rabbit thing is becoming sound like a bit of a stretch. Hold on. Why did you have to put the? What was the rabbit escaped?
No, the rabbit goes outside in the day and indoors at night.
Well, the back garden or the front garden?
A courtyard.
Okay.
I just think she plays with a rabbit at night.
Okay, fine. Come on, grow up.
Nah, it's funny.
I think.
Good. Right, we're there. Let's go.
Right, I think this will be positive. I think
Okay.
because I read out a stat last week
Right.
that had you foaming at the mouth with rage.
Mm.
Because I read this thing on Flexitarianism
Mm.
from my Men's
Mm.
Health magazine, and to be fair, it was a little bit last minute.
Yeah.
If I'd really kind of paid attention, I thought, oh, he's going to tear me a new one here if I read this one out, and it's exactly what you did.
You let your guard down, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It was the stat where talking about flexitarianism, which is occasionally like giving up meat and maybe kind of flexing between meat eatery and vegetarianism.
It's just eating, isn't it?
Right?
It isn't. It isn't. Why have we put a name to it? People who eat meat
what we do.
sometimes and vegetables.
It's what we do.
But
Everything
we've
needs.
got to have a title.
We have to label people.
Yep.
The stat was research shows, and this is
Yeah.
my first mistake, that if every family in the UK swapped a red meat meal for a plant-based one on an extra day a week, it would have the same environmental effect as taking 16 million cars off the road.
How many families? What country? How big are the families? What size portions? How many cars? What size cars? How many of them were electric? How many were the diesel?
Finished?
Yep.
I don't think you have. So what I tried to do, I haven't got the answers to this, Mark,
No.
but I tried to find where the research came from.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is just put the links up so everyone can find out for themselves. But it was from a guy called Joseph Paul, whose study came from February 2019 called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers.
Mhm.
Different types of food production, different types of techniques, not just meat, but
Okay.
plant-based as well. It's the usual thing, which actually his article was really, really balanced.
Good.
And
Yeah.
there was no mention of cars.
Okay.
Even 16 million of them,
Okay.
even one, let alone
Someone's
16
maybe
million.
just done a bit of maths themselves.
Yeah, I think they've kind of taken. He's it's what they do, isn't it?
Mm.
They kind of take a little snippet and write a whole article on it. People like me read it and just take it as gospel. There's a
Yeah.
lesson for us all.
There
A
is.
positive lesson for us all, right there. Right.
We can still be critical whilst we're being positive.
Yes, we'll come to this in a bit. But that's called
Okay.
that's called feedback
Of course.
rather than constructive criticism.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that is overused, that phrase, don't you? You criticise someone, but put constructive in front of it.
Yeah,
It's a bit like I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll put the links up, and I'm
Good.
sure you'll have a little read.
Yep.
And find out yourself. This is another positive. It's all part positivity. I mean, we're absolutely buzzing on it, aren't we?
Overflowing with it.
So if you were worried in, I think it was the last episode when we talked about sneezing with your eyes open, I might have kind of set the cat amongst the pigeons with people thinking, oh God, if I have my eyes open, I'm going to lose them. I'm going to fly
Yeah.
out over across the room,
Yeah.
or on stalks, just be dangling there
Yeah.
like a,
Yeah.
couple of cartoon eyeballs.
That's very much Tom and Jerry, isn't it? Again,
Yeah.
I think I said that before, Thomas. Yeah.
Don't fear, because the act of sneezing, also known as sternutation,
Mm-hmm.
will not cause your eyes to pop out, even if you do sneeze with your eyes open. And yes, it is possible to sneeze with your eyes open. Yes, it is. It's just very difficult, and you have to make a concerted effort to keep your eyes open. Some people who try to sneeze with their eyes open can accomplish this feat if they hold their eyelids open.
Yes. That's,
Or you can get someone else to hold them for you.
Yeah.
But wash your hands. This
well,
curious...
they should wash their hands.
Yeah, but everyone should just wash their hands just
Yeah.
to make sure. The curious phenomenon occurs because the eyes automatically close when you sneeze as a result of one of the body's involuntary reflexes. That means your brain sends a signal to your eye muscles to close your eyes before it sneezes without you ever thinking about it or doing anything.
And do you know what the purpose is?
Well, some believe this reflex... What?
I didn't think you'd have
I've
an
learnt
answer.
from last week. Some spurious fact that you're going to question.
Yeah. Go on. No, I just wondered why that would be an involuntary action, how we've developed that the body has gone. It'll be a good
I haven't
idea.
got a concise scientific answer for you. The one I do have is this. Some believe this reflex developed to prevent what is being sneezed out from getting into the eye.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to stop snot.
Getting in your face.
Yeah.
But you sneeze kind of straight out and there's just no chance of you
Into
getting...
an incoming wind.
You got more... yeah, out of a car window, comes straight back in your
Yeah.
face. But you got more chance of actually when people will put your hand over your mouth. Well, I'm just going to... That's probably why your eyes closed. thousands of years of evolution, right?
Because it would bounce off your hand.
People are just going, don't be so gross, put your hand in your mouth, gob.
Before there was polite society,
it comes back straight in your face.
everybody's eyes stayed open.
Yeah.
And then as people started putting their hands in front of their face, evolution shut the eyes.
Yeah, that has to be it. Excellent. I've got some positive news, Mark. What?
I don't know how long we can keep it up.
This is your fucking idea.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going on it, all right?
Yeah.
So, a baby beaver has been born in Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a joke, it's not. And it's the first one to be born in Norfolk in 600 years.
They've been trying all that time.
Yeah. The baby, known as Kit, was filmed paddling in water at Wild Ken Hill near Heacham. Two pairs of Eurasian beavers were introduced at the site last year. Ecologist Lloyd Park said the discovery of the kit they're just known as Kit. It's called a kit, right? A baby beaver. I thought that was its name. Like
the car.
Yeah. I think they've just been unimaginative. The discovery of the kit represents an historic moment for the return of the species. The ecosystem engineers, as they're known, and they're known for that, for creating habitats for other animals.
But also ruining a lot of habitats. I don't think everybody's...
That's not very positive,
No,
Mark.
I'm just saying I don't think everyone's a big fan of beaver. That's all I'm saying.
No,
seriously. So laughing aside, they are destructive, aren't they?
So these absolute terrorists of the wild world, right, were hunted to extinction in Britain for their fur, glands, and meat. We've done this. Is this for
beaver glands for the vanilla?
Vanilla beaver glands.
Perfect.
Yeah. In the 16th century. But there's a real kind of grainy... But you think all this technology... We've talked about this before, haven't we? Especially when we talk about space. All this technology. They've got this dodgy night vision kind of camera of this thing. So it looks like a rat in a canal. It could be anything.
Yeah.
You've got to question everything you see these days. You shouldn't take everything in the gospel, should you? So that was good news. Did you like that?
Yes, that's good.
I've got some other wildlife news.
Mm-hmm. Just one last thing on the beaver.
Yeah.
This always got me with Adam and Eve. Adam and Beaver. Adam and Eve begat whoever they did, and then they also begat
what? What's begat mean? Who speak English?
No, but it's like Old Testament, isn't they? In the beginning, Adam and Eve did begat.
Did what?
Child.
Right, say that then.
I'm just giving it in context.
Okay.
And they had some children. So if they were the only two in the Garden of Eden, then the next two people to procreate must have been
their children. Yeah.
Well, don't say it's matter of fact like that. The point I'm making is...
that is science I can't really deny, Mark.
There's two pairs of beavers, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So baby Kit has either got mum, if it's a male.
Yeah. Well, how else? Immaculate conception of a beaver.
No, what I'm saying is if you've got a very limited gene pool, the baby to now... They haven't had a baby for 600 years. That baby beaver now, looking for a mate, has got a choice of mum, dad...
Oh yeah, I see we
or the neighbours. And only probably, and I'm not
this is wildlife, anything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of having a child, it's going to be limited to the mum and dad mate.
Well, that's kind of like the dog breeding world, isn't it? When you look at the tree, they're all,
There's a lot of interwhatsits, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot of interwhatsits.
Dogs seem fairly indiscriminate, mate-wise.
Yeah, well, animals are.
You don't get lions shagging wildebeest, do you?
Wildebeest? What the hell's a wildebeest?
What else could it be? Would you like to pronounce it?
Wildebeest.
It's
like a wieldy beast, just wielding things around.
I accept your pronunciation was better than mine.
It's cute, I like it.
Good.
No, of course you don't. That's kind of cross species, isn't it, Uncle? We're both at it. That's kind of cross-modification, that is.
Okay, then the cheetah and
Dog's
a lion.
a dog.
Cheetah and a lion. Never seen it happen.
But they've done that. There is a tiger and a lion, isn't there?
Yes.
Called a
But they don't go
ligra,
looking for it. Like, dogs just look for it, don't they? They're...
Right. In other news, good news this is.
It's all good news.
And in Australia, they're not having such good news at the moment, are they? So I thought I'd...
Can't mention it.
I didn't.
C-word related, isn't it?
Can't? What can't they do?
Well, I thought you were going to say about they're all being locked up
they
by
could
an intransigent government that's just...
No, I mean, why would I say such a thing like that?
Okay.
They can't organise a piss up in a watering hole, can they? But,
Not on Foster's.
No. So, bandicoots returned to Australian National Park after being locally extinct for more than a century.
It's a wildlife special, not positivity special.
Well, it's only good news. Only good news is happening in animals.
Some animals are shagging. In other news...
Hold on, finish this news here. Do you want to hold your news?
I think you have.
What?
I think that's enough. Go on then. bandicoots.
Right, because after this is
Did I-
all yours. The positivity special is all yours. Locally extinct bandicoots have returned to an Australian national park in New South Wales. I picked on New South Wales for a reason. After more than 100 years. The nationally threatened species known by local Aboriginal people as talpero. I don't know why I said that in a talpero.
The typical Spanish lilt to the Aborigines.
Once ranged across inland Australia, including the area now managed as Sturt National Park. The small native marsupials became extinct in the region after ecosystem changes caused by rabbits and predation by feral cats and foxes. They had a lot of rabbits, didn't they?
Yeah, had that fence, didn't they?
What, big fence to keep out the rabbits?
You not heard of the big fence?
No.
Google. It's worth it.
The big fence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big rabbit fence, Australia.
You know how to Google, Mark.
Hmm?
I know how to Google.
Okay.
You just think of all the keywords appropriate to a large fence in Australia. You didn't say
it
hit
used to be
enter.
so patronising.
Do I need to hit
Google?
enter?
Yeah. You would say something and you go, the way it used to suggest, it almost suggested that you were stupid, didn't it? Can you remember back in the day, Google suggestion? Now it knows totally what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So
you used to go, duh, hadn't it, before it gave you the answer.
What am I meant to do with that? Prick.
Yeah.
No, do you know what I mean? It was almost
Throw
like
me a
quite
bone.
condescending.
Yeah.
Like that paperclip on Microsoft.
Oh,
God.
there was no little dog as well on that.
Yeah.
Awful thing,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
The introduction of the bandicoots was another major milestone in the Wild Deserts Conservation Project, which last year introduced bilbies and mulgaras into the national park. I have no idea what those are. So this is what Dr. Rebecca West said. She's the ecologist based at Wild Deserts. The season has been tremendous out here, and the rains we had last year and then again in March.
Can't argue with that.
No. These rains have helped create a highly productive system that is excellent for the reintroduction of the species.
Good.
That's that.
I thought you might have said to me what's happening about the oat v dairy, because I said I would come back and...
Oh, right, no, I haven't even looked at that. Have you?
Sort of.
Is it positive?
Well, that was exactly the point. I thought, what's the point of going, oh, dairy's better than oat, or oat isn't better than dairy? You know, I just thought if we're going to be positivity, I don't want to just be putting down something for the sake of it.
Right.
And also it isn't...
Because to be fair, well, this is the thing, when I kind of brought up the thing about meat, you're a lover of the meat, aren't you, Mark?
I am.
What?
You say I'm inane.
Hold on, what you're doing now is what you did on training on Tuesday, right? We brought this up in last week's pod.
Go on then.
I've noticed you do this.
What's
We
that?
talked about your distraction techniques before.
What, just totally ignore you?
Because again, I was doing my seated rows again this week on Tuesday.
Yep.
Your attention was taken away for a moment as one of Amelia's clients turned up again, brandishing 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
And I turned around and
You've
thought,
got to let this go.
I'm not letting it go. And I hope she's listening, because it got worse this week.
Okay.
Cause
Why?
The confidence in which you walked in and handed you your coffee.
Yeah.
With a kind of, hey, good morning. It's like I existed even less than I did the week before.
Okay.
I felt crushed.
Do you think it'd be patronising? Go on, sorry,
no,
go on.
No, go on.
No, I was saying, do you think it's
forget
patronising if I send her £2.50 and ask her to get you something?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
don't.
it is. Yeah.
That's not what I don't want a coffee, right?
Yeah.
It's not the point.
No.
But then you were kind of so smug with yourself. You were looking away at the weights, like just staring at the weights, like almost pretending you were trying to think of something. And I was just sitting there staring at you. You're just staring at the wall pretty much. I'm going, you're just trying to cover your smugness. It was so obvious.
I said I'm being blasé, didn't I?
Yeah, you're just looking away. It's like, what?
This happens to me constantly.
You just couldn't even look me in the eye and kind of let me have my moment.
Your moment of suffering there.
Yeah, it's not on.
So back to...
Next week, she'll come and kind of cartwheels, give you your coffee, give me the bird, and moonwalk out the garage. That's what's going to happen. I'm getting totally mugged off every Tuesday morning.
In the cheerleader...
I'm paying for this.
In the cheerleader outfit with those ruffly things. Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, what I was going to say about the oat v dairy was I didn't find the article that I actually wanted, but I did find something about Oatly, who are making absolutely massive losses, which really surprised me. They were saying...
That's very negative.
Yeah, which is why we're going to pass it by. And not mention it. Oh, it's pity. I've got
we just can't help ourselves, can we?
No, but I've got another really good negative. How can I make this a positive?
Okay,
one?
well, you can have a negative, but you've got to turn it around. So I
Okay.
did that with I mentioned New South Wales, right? And then I turned it around with a nice bandicoot story.
Oh, I see. You led me in.
Yeah.
Got you. I see what you're doing now.
Because, I don't know whether we'll come on to this, but you can't have positivity without negativity. It can't exist on it, can it, on its own?
No, that's true. That's true.
It's all like light and dark, isn't it?
A couple of things made me smile positively.
Right.
One was a T-shirt from Viz advertising the world's tallest mug tree.
Yeah.
And it says the eighth wonder of the kitchen utensil world. And there's a guy called Chuck. I'm not going to do his surname, that's true. Chuck. Why, he's so darn big you can drive right through the fella. And there's a cartoon picture of a car driving through a mug tree.
Yeah.
But what I love about it,
like a giant redwood.
Like a giant redwood, exactly. And to the side, they've got twice as tall as 2 Empire State Buildings. And I think that is magic. That is so brilliant in my mind.
Yeah.
Twice as tall as 2 Empire State Buildings.
Yeah.
No.
Twice as tall as 2. Is that what it says?
Yeah, so it's 4 times.
4 times, yeah. Do maths, basic.
That's what Brian Clough did. He said 6 of one, 2 threes of the other. Which I always use.
Yeah, so you just like the colourful language and the kind of,
Well, it's overcomplicated, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that why you like it?
Yeah. So I'm not.
But it's done in a simplistic way, which I like. It's overcomplicated, but done in very few words, which is smart.
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay. On the negative,
like you, which is overcomplicated with too many words. But no, come on, we'll move on.
On the negative pit. So yes, you're right. There has to be light and shade. So 2 things I'd like to bring up. One is Sean Locke, who died this week. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favourite comedians. I've just seen a couple of things. If you haven't seen the Carrot Box, look at that on YouTube. That is genuine laugh out. It is brilliant. I think that's one of the best things I've ever seen. Yeah, the Carrot Box. One was, there's one thing about yourself you could change, what would it be? And he went the front, which I thought was quite... But he was asked a question on a quiz show that said, do you ever judge people by their accents? He said, I've judged them way before I hear them speak, which I thought fitted in well.
That's your phone again, Mark.
I know it could be the emergency service. Excuse me.
I didn't know you were on call.
It's like being on casualty twice.
Who does that? Why don't they just send a long text? Actually, you do that to me.
Yeah. It's like 2 words, 2 words, 2 words, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hope she is all right, not to worry, I'm thumb. Oh, that's thumbs up, I'm okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are you done now?
Yep.
She's okay. She'll be fine.
Everything's good.
Good.
Back on to Sean Locke. The thing of Carrot in a Box was on YouTube, and I looked at it, and it's had, 14,000 views or whatever, 2.3 thousand thumbs up, 246 thumbs down. And this got me thinking, you've gone through YouTube, and you've decided to watch a clip that has Jimmy Carr, Sean Locke, and
John Richardson.
Yeah, 3 funny guys. You would probably only watch it if you like that game show. And I thought 246 people had watched it and then decided to give it a thumbs down.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking a little bit, we've discussed this before, where do we all go with that? Now, if it was an opinion and if it was about something controversial or political or, meat against vegan or someone coming out with something that was either you had massive support for or...
But you're kind of saying that examples with 2 sides.
Yeah.
But there's 2 sides to humour, isn't there?
There is 2 sides to humour. But
they haven't gone... But also, it's the choices as well. Giving you a thumbs up and a thumbs down. They haven't given you a meh in the middle of it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, and I get your point, yeah, if you don't like it, you're going to put a thumbs down. But it just came into my mind, if I didn't particularly find it funny... I don't think I could ever have the enthusiasm, and I am even quite effusive about things, even just to click to go. I would just go, it wasn't funny, but a lot of people have liked it. So that was one of the things. It was, has our society got to a point now in terms of either wanting to register something negative to be seen, to be registering negative, not go, well, you've done your best, but no, you've done your best, but it's shit, in my opinion. That's number one. And secondly, have we become dependent on praise to the point if praise is missed, we see that as negative?
Yeah.
So if you don't get a certain number of likes, or it happened with you the other day, I sent something humorous and you went, ha.
To me?
Yeah, you went, ha, back. And I was thinking...
Because I was laughing, Mark.
Yeah, I thought...
Uncontrollably.
I thought 2 or 3.
That ha, ha, ha.
Yes.
I wasn't side-splitting.
But, the one showed that. And I was genuinely well, fuck him. I won't send him anything else.
Is that what you haven't texted me since?
Yeah. So the point I'm making is this, is that I think in the terms of positivity, people now if you do something a certain way, there's an expectation either that you'll instantly reply. I mean, I've got a couple of replies to people at the moment that are probably 3 weeks now.
It's an interesting one because if you're trying to, promote, because some of the stuff I've been reading about positivity is mainly how can you reduce negativity.
Yep.
A lot of the time, no one's going to go, here's how to be negative.
Yes.
And also, no one writes about negativity as such. It's something that it's like the bad weather. Here I go again. It's like inclement weather. It's like rain, sleet, snow. It's seen as bad. Nobody kind of it's not celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have one without the other. I think we all kind of want to avoid negativity, although there's plenty of times in my life where we have, we kind of need it and we have to thrive on it, like stress and things like that. We kind of need it just to kind of move on, don't we, and progress or grow again or whatever that is. But when it comes to like digital, Instagram is a heart, a like. Yeah. There's that on Twitter. There isn't unlike kind of Reddit where there's a upvote and a downvote. Agree, disagree. It's binary. Whereas the other ones are kind of, do you like it? If not, you just don't do anything. But on the flip side of that, the amount of times we just double tap on Instagram for a like. The gradation of I like that a lot and I'd like that not so much is non-existent. So it's kind of the same thing, even though when you got one option, it becomes a meaningless thing after a while. So really, the thumb up is almost as meaningful as the thumbs down. The longer those things go on, it doesn't mean anything because it's the same for everything. It's got no context. It's binary in a non-binary context. You see, it just becomes meaningless. I
don't think it becomes meaningless. So if we posted some, say we'd done a comedy special, and we were looking on YouTube, and I mean, obviously, people, if you put something up on YouTube, you're hoping for validation, and I accept my need for validation is probably disproportionate. What I'm saying more is that the person that has pressed the down thumb has had the little spark of maybe I don't know, almost. How does that help the individual? If you're trying you're focusing on, but it might be an algorithm. I don't know whether it actually affects the algorithm. I haven't looked into it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be balanced here. Why can't you say the same thing for the thumb? I don't look at a video and go, oh, it's had so many likes. I'll probably look at the views. Mm-hmm. But what does that signal give to the brain? If you've watched something that people have spent time, it's their job. You don't go along to an estate agent and stand outside the window with your thumbs down because don't like it, which I should do with my fucking estate agent. I don't get it's positivity special, Mark. We don't want to go there. Positively fuming. Yeah. So the other thing is, of course, the thumbs down. Wasn't that the Romans gladiatorial thing? Is that when they kind of? Yeah. So it does have connotations. Yeah, but I don't know. I think you're looking into it a little bit too. Don't tell me what I'm doing on a positivity special. Don't say I should overthink less. I didn't. I didn't say the word more should. Of that, and I'll throw I'm merely stating a fact that you're overthinking this one. I'll throw my eliminate negative thinking book at you. Yeah. Well, you could then say, well, negative reviews. Yeah, I am disgusted with my steak was cold. Not. I am elated that my steak was warm and delivered to me on time and it was delicious. Don't eat steak. The steak is delicious. Because what they would do, they would use the stopper and get the steak. But, the Dalek? Yeah. Trying to eat a steak. They wouldn't be able to get their mouth on it. No, they wouldn't. I don't think they eat steak. I think they're vegans. Are they? Yeah. Okay. The other thing, which I wasn't poo-pooing. I was just throwing in a kind of... No, we're here to discuss. I'm not always right. All right, I am. Yeah. So, get on with it. Okay, right, I've hit go again. Okay, so let's just update the listener. How much have we lost? I don't know. We must have been talking about 5 minutes or so. Right, it doesn't matter, does it? No, we just talked for 5 minutes and not recorded it for some random reason. Doesn't matter. Okay, about positivity. Well, let's just pick up on that. Anxiety and worrying is never going to change anything. God. What? No, but what? The climate change thing was quite... The fire stuff was quite good. Might have some of it. Oh, I don't think we have, actually. Well, let's just go back on the plastics. Put it this way. If I'm going to give advice to a client, and I would say to someone, in my view, if you want to build muscle, what I would suggest is you up the amount of protein because no other macro can do what protein does, i.e. repair and build muscles. Carbohydrates and fat don't do it. So if you want bigger muscles, protein is the building block. Secondly, I would say take 5 milligrams of creatine because that has well researched. So I would give that person that advice, and they would go away, and it would be the best advice for the objective of building muscle. And if the objective of this country is to reduce waste, if someone stood in front of the TV camera and said, we've done lots of research, the best thing you can do is not change your cotton buds to bamboo, because believe it or not, the bamboo has to be grown and harvested and put in a truck, and it grows in Asia, so it's being flown across the world. So the best thing you could possibly do is not use cotton buds.
You only need to use one a month.
Yeah.
Not 2 a day.
But the thing is, if they go, well, the difference between a plastic cotton bud and a bamboo results in something so small, you'd be much better off doing
back
X,
to the
Y, or
original
Z.
stat when you were like, what, how many cars, what country, all those kind of things. That's what you got to compare it to, isn't it? It's not about what ends up in the sea. It's not just about how much energy it's taken to create it.
Yeah.
It's about all of those things.
Yeah.
The thing that we probably haven't just recorded is, the food waste and them picking up the glass. And I think you were saying this morning that we sort it all out for them. We do our little bit.
Yeah.
They throw it all in the thing. And then they drive it somewhere. And then big machines smash it up into 1,000 pieces. And then it probably gets processed by another load of machines. And then it gets shipped to somewhere. And you're like, why not just reuse that bottle?
Yeah.
Why not just take it back to where it came from, like we used to do in the olden days?
But there is a lot to
and
be
get
said
20p back for it. We're mad.
Yes.
Aren't we?
But the point I was going to say...
But fires are easy to focus on. Forest fires are easy to go, look how terrible it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
and if you lot don't change, more trees are going to get it.
And how many bottles of things, everyone's putting 10, 20 bottles out. Everybody. That all adds up, right? I'm not saying it's an equivalent of a fire, of a forest fire, but it's another thing that we just think is...
But you say every household in Bristol puts out 10 bottles a week, and there's, 50,000 households.
Yeah.
That's 500,000 bottles a week that we could be saving.
And all that energy just...
That makes sense. 500,000 a week.
A stack of other things we could do, isn't there? It's not just those things, but it's easy to go to the flagship kind of problems, isn't there?
So, with that in mind...
Yes.
Because we're about giving hints and tips and life hacks.
Are we moving on to your book? Are we moving on to the next section yet?
No, we're moving on to one thing I'm going to do.
Right.
So we've often said we don't have to wait for the government to tell us how to look after ourselves. And then I've just gone, well, the government should be telling us. I'm a bit in the dark around climate change. I'm not necessarily the best advocate for it. But I've made this decision. Went into the supermarket the other day. I rarely eat veg. Very rarely eat veg. I don't eat fruit. I don't eat veg. And I'm not purporting that that's a good lifestyle. It's just my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I bought some green beans and they look nice. I put them in my basket. When I was putting them through the machine, I realised they were from Guatemala. Now, I don't really care if I eat frozen peas from Birdseye that are grown in Lincoln or a cauliflower that was grown 20 miles down the road or green beans. I don't really care that much. So why am I choosing green beans that have been picked in South America, flown across the world,
sprayed in summer, as we were talking about, probably to stop them getting mouldy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're in fridges that are going to have more electricity.
Yeah.
And so this is the bit when I was saying bullshit about the meat and the plant. It's like if you're comparing a cow down the road by the local butcher, that has less of an impact than Guatemalan green beans. But also, it is ridiculous as a world that we're so desperate to eat a green bean that it can fly 7,000, well, not by itself, but it can be transported 7,000 miles and at 95p. And then I'm thinking, so what are the people getting it who are growing this? Right. And
you've got to be bringing an absolute shit ton of them in to make that worthwhile for anybody.
And we don't have to have green beans. Any vegetable would do. And there's going to be ones in season. So why don't we get back? So this is my bit, if you like. It's a bit like my toothpaste.
Yeah.
I got the made in Poland this time, not the made in China.
Right.
Why should I buy something? Yeah, that's made it.
You eco-warrior, you.
It's feeling a bit chillier out already. I noticed the sea had dropped.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? Let's make a sensible decision. You don't need Guatemalan green beans, so stop fucking buying them.
Yeah.
And if no one buys them, then we won't have to import them and we can just have stuff that's grown down the road.
Is the positive thing here just to because lots of the positivity stuff was about mindfulness and, flipping things, thinking differently. We talked about thinking differently the other week with the Rory Sutherland stuff. Think the opposites. And I think we don't, like you just saying about those green beans, it's like, well, we don't question that.
Yeah.
Probably don't look at the label and go, oh. Or if we do look at the label, we go, oh, I'll
I wish they weren't made in Guatemala. Grown.
But we just keep our heads down and keep.
Yeah.
We're back to that kind of, it is relentless.
Yeah.
If you're going to look at your green beans, you're going to look at your dishwasher tabs, you're going to look at, your car. It is relentless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Your electricity bill, all the things you've got plugged in, all your red lights on all your appliances and
but
stuff
it'll
like that.
get easier the more you do it, though. If I see green beans coming from Kenya or Guatemala for 3 months in a row, then I won't eat green beans.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on to this book, if that's all right.
I was just going to give a little definition. Sometimes a definition of positivity.
Yeah, good one.
Halfway through. According to Oxford English Dictionary, because everything with Oxford in it is to be trusted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go on to what I was going to say. No.
You can't really argue with that.
Although they turned me down, but
what, the university? Oh, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about vaccines. Anyway, the practice of being, or the tendency to be positive or optimistic in attitude. We've talked about optimism, haven't we, before? Yeah. You're not kind of born positive or negative.
No.
It's
nature and nurture,
it's
isn't it?
Conditioning, isn't it, really?
No, in the same way you're not born racist, are you?
Yeah.
What I thought I'd do is I would refer to a book, literally taken from random from Amazon, had a lot of positive reviews, and go,
Amazon, honestly.
Yes,
Mark.
I know.
What are you just saying? You and your Guatemalan beans. And
I fell into that.
You just bought one book, you didn't get any others to go with it. Whilst they're delivering your book, you didn't think you have
but I've done them for successive days. Okay, so it's called Eliminate Negative Thinking by Derek Howell. And I must admit, I've only skimmed it. No, because...
Just look how much more positive you would have been if you'd read it.
No, because I've come to a wee bit of a conclusion, and then I trained somebody today before I'd looked at the book in detail.
Yeah.
And our conversation took me to what I feel a very positive outcome. And it was this. The book was called Eliminate Negative Thinking, and I thought straight away... I'm not trying to propose, but if I was having a book, I would go, how to build positive thinking. Yes. Eliminate negative thinking to me is like...
I said that right at the beginning, didn't I?
Yeah.
About a lot of the things were about how to reduce negativity rather than... Which I think is a valid thing.
I think it's a valid thing, but I think...
Is this half full, half empty? Is this what we're talking about here? Like thumbs up, thumbs down? Is it just kind of a...
Yeah, this came up in this book. Are you a glass half full or glass half empty? And I thought, how is glass made of sand, but you can see through it? So I think I've maybe overthought that one. Yeah. So one of the things when I looked through this book that I found difficult, and when I discussed this with a client today...
Long words?
Was that she agreed? Yeah, no pictures. The crayons haven't arrived. Was that it felt very sort of self-help, which is fine. It's that sort of book. But it almost felt turn that frown upside down. And when I was discussing this with a client today, we both came to the conclusion that we do know the answers. And one of the things in here was surround yourself with positive people. Makes sense. The first thing is, of course it does. You're around positive. But it's like, that's easier said than done.
Most of the listicle stuff, top 15, top 10, top 20, 30 ways of being positive or having a positive mindset. Three of the things you've just talked about.
Yeah.
But most of them you could just go, oh, yeah.
But I haven't got any positive friends, and positive people don't want me as a friend because I bring the party down.
Yeah.
So what I thought was there were things in there, and one of them was about how you sit and how you stand, and I think that was a very good one because I'm thinking we've talked about FOFBOB. If you talk, with your chest out, if you sit with your chest out and your shoulders back, you do feel better and you feel more alert. So what I thought was, in terms of positivity, there's a list of things that go, just as a little reminder, sit up straight, pull your scapula back, and you're going to have a different feel. And that's like free, and it isn't judgmental, and it doesn't mean you've got to go out and find... So when I was talking to the client today, she was saying, actually, I went out with my friends on Saturday, and they're a very close friendship group, and they're positive, and they're my sort of go-to group for a good time. And she was sort of saying, but I didn't really enjoy it because they were all happy. Even if they weren't, they were displaying as happy. And positive, but because of her state of mind, she couldn't join in. So what I'm saying is it can be very trite to go, surround yourself with positive people. positivity is infectious. And
it's almost it's fleeting.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back to my crappy life.
Yeah. We have a discussion, and this person been working really hard on getting that perfect catalyst for her to engage. And both she and I realise, and to a degree it might be positivity or confidence, but I think the two are related. She hasn't got that catalyst. And I was honest to her today, and I said, I'm doubting myself as a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Because we don't seem to be able to kickstart your positive approach to exercise and to nutrition and to life in general. And I'm feeling a bit like I'm failing. And I explained to her that my therapist had said a few weeks ago, if I can't improve you, then I'm probably going to have to drop you. And she used the analogy that if you went to a driving instructor and they couldn't make you drive, you find a new driving instructor. And she said, but also in that instance, a driving instructor should say to you, I don't think I'm going to be able to get you through your test for whatever reason. So the driving instructor as well should have that supportive bit. Like, I'm not dumping you, it's just not working.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know I can make this client achieve what she wants to do, but it wasn't happening. And we had a very good talk today, and we were mentioning to-do lists, and that's another thing that comes out, isn't it? Like, have a positive approach to the day and set yourself with the objectives. And what she said, she had done that and not ticked anything off because her to-do list was to clear the garage, which is a big old job.
Yeah.
And she didn't achieve it. And she had listened to a talk, I think it might have been a TED talk or something similar, and that person had said, instead of having a to-do, as in a task, if you like, to achieve, give yourself a time and fill that time with a task. And I thought, that's gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if her task had been 35 minutes clearing the garage, whatever she did in that time, as long as she was in the garage clearing,
better than
is
not.
success.
Yeah, that's actually right.
Her view was, I've only got 35 minutes left, I can't clear the garage. And then she admitted those 35 minutes were doing, TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, time's a constraint rather than an unrealistic outcome.
Exactly. And you can have control over time, because if you know you have got that time free, if the task is too big, change it to a time. So we then had this discussion, and I said, right, how can this work for you? So we were talking about exercise, and she was saying what exercises I should do. And I said, using just what you've said, it doesn't matter what the exercises are. I said, when are you going to exercise? And so what we've decided, she's going to do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. And it doesn't matter what she does, as long as she moves in those 10 minutes. And what we've decided is she's going to do squats. And we did this numbers thing the other day.
Yeah, that was
so
really
she's
good.
Done 30 in the morning for the last week, which is the sort of one good thing that's happened. So she's now going to do, she really loves squats, so she's going to do 30 in the evening. And she does it 7 days a week. So that's 60 squats a day. So that's 420 squats a week. I'm doing quick maths here.
Yeah. I'll take the pauses out.
That's 21,000 squats.
Okay, a year.
A year. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, just when you were saying the other week about just 20 minutes and you worked out how many movements, you were getting up to like 60,000 movements.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and you're like, that's bonkers. But yeah, achievable.
So she said, well, what should I do on the other day? Like, tell me what. And I'm going, if you have your 20 minute in the middle of the day and you go for a run for 20 minutes, like time 10, stop and run back. Yeah. And that's your 20. But if you decide you're going to go on a fast, but it's that time thing, rather than say, I'm going to go for a run today. Because that can sometimes be a big task.
No, it's a really good way of doing it.
The last one I'm going to give, and this is I think...
Was this from the book? Was this before you read the book?
No, this was just her.
Right.
This was our conversation, which I think is better than the book.
Then?
Yes, you can have it.
You don't need books. You should be writing one yourself.
So the final bit, and I think this is absolute gold. I said, tomorrow, are you going to have your 20-minute block? And she said, yes. And I went, it would be great if you could run, because we've been talking about running, and I'm thinking, we're on a roll here. And she went, oh, just let me work it out. She said, I'm meeting a friend at 9:15. And she was like, you know, that count back, it's like 20 minutes for a shower. 20 minutes, and you go. And she went, if I go out at 8, I can do 20 minutes. I've got 20 minutes from 8 to 20 past, and that gives me an hour. Sorry, she had to leave at 9:15. And I went, great. And I said, what I want you to do is take a picture of your watch, so I know you've done it, and I can see how far you've gone. And she went, oh, okay, but I'm like a bit embarrassed because it's going to be really slow. I said, no, you're doing 20 minutes movement. The time is immaterial. I'm not doing it for the time. I'm doing it for you fulfill the task or fulfill the time. Mm-hmm. And she went, oh, actually, I'm just thinking that's going to be a little bit tight. And I went, okay. So she said, actually, I'll do it Saturday. And I thought, that one sentence has summed up everything. Because when you're in that position of everything seeming too much, now I'd said, what time are you leaving the house? And what are you doing for how long? Suddenly, her mind had been overwhelmed. Yeah. It was like, shit, I haven't run for a year. I don't think I can run. It might, what's going to happen?
And that's not...
So her first thing was, and she knows that I'm going to pick it up, was, I'll do it the day after, but I will let you know. Mm. And I said, just one thing. Before 8 o'clock, there's 7:30.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, she didn't know either.
Like twice a day.
So if she leaves at 7:30, she's going to be back in the house by 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So the time restraint isn't a restraint because all you do is shift what time you get your ass out of bed.
Yeah.
What I felt in terms of positivity, if she had allowed herself to put it off till Saturday and then something had happened on Saturday that stopped her doing it, she's fucked. Because she set one simple task to move for 20 minutes. She's failed on the Friday. She's failed on the Saturday. Yeah. Sunday,
forget
it. It's like, and I'm going, as a personal trainer, I cannot get you to run for 20 minutes on a nice August day. But the positivity was now when she left, and we had this joke about 7:30. I said, get up at 7:30. I said, text me by 8. And she was like, and I know she's going to do it. Yeah. And to me, that was the whole positivity, is that we've brought something that is achievable. We've said the exact time it will start, and we haven't set unrealistic aims. Yeah. And I think that's going to take her massively. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? In terms of
I'm thinking of also tying into your framework.
68.
How can I forget? Yeah. Similar kind of thing. I mean, that was putting in a block of time to do something, but throwing in some self-soothing with it. Yeah. I guess kind of confirmation, what do you call it? Like a reinforcement. Yeah. And habit stacking and that kind of thing. But that just kind of came to my mind as you were talking about that. So you just think about it as time rather than the actual thing you're going to do. Yes. So you can be quite broad, can't you? Yeah. So
and also it's harder to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, if she walks that 20 minutes, I don't care, because it's 20 minutes she hasn't been doing.
But you're right, when people are overwhelmed and there's a list of overwhelming things, it's a little bit like with clients when they bring us a big long list of requirements. Yeah. It's over ambitious. Yes. And there's more project than time. Yeah. And that's where all projects go pear-shaped. Yeah. Right, because what you're kind of talking about, because I was thinking about outcome-based thing. Mm-hmm. The outcome here is to allocate a period of time and to move within that. Yes. It's pretty broad. But yeah, it's a little bit setting the bar quite low as well.
It depends where you are, though.
It also depends which way you look at it. But you're hope she's all right. Yeah. Depends where you are. What do you mean? Where you are in that process? But the idea of going, even for my bike, because I'm not getting on my push bike at the moment, so I can go Sunday between 8 and 12. I'm going to cycle. Yeah. Normally, that'd be overwhelming. Oh, what route? I don't.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Who else is coming?
Just go out and pedal.
Yeah.
Within 2 hours, turn back. Yes. So I can complete my 4 hours. It doesn't matter where I go. No. What route. No. But I'm kicking myself the rest of the week when I haven't gone out. Yeah. Because I'm just, I'm adding more things in to that decision process, and I'm analysis paralysis. I'm almost putting in reasons not to do it. But I can't. I'm bored of the route. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you're using your own words there about setting the bar low. Because if I said to you, as your personal trainer, cycle for 4 hours, you go, of course I can cycle for 4 hours. What I need to know is how far am I going to go? Yeah. Yeah. But you're not doing it.
It's small steps in it without talking about small steps.
Yes, it's a different approach. And I think the one thing for me, I am genuinely excited that the progress that this person hasn't been making is going to be reversed by 20 minutes at 7:30. I am 100% sure she will do it. I'm 100% sure she's going to send me proof. Mm-hmm. And I'm 100% sure she's going to feel so proud of herself. And it is the little things that give us this. I've opened a load of envelopes this week. I couldn't open them. What I told myself is my task was to open the envelopes. I didn't action anything inside. Because if I told myself, I'm going to go through these envelopes and work out, there's one from the tax, there was one from electricity, there was one from probate. And it's like I'm going, I ain't going to touch the envelopes if I have to deal with it.
Yeah,
so they're now in a nice pile. So my next task will be, there's a couple there that could be urgent.
Yeah.
Have a sort. So I don't think it's setting the bar low. It's just continually achieving and having that little buzz of dopamine, that positivity that you've achieved something. So good. You're right, it is small steps, but...
I like the idea of flipping that.
I think the next thing, if we could maybe do the second bit on the mental health.
Okay, we could do it next week.
Yeah. Just there's been a few hints and tips. There's something that I've done this week that I didn't know I was doing it. My therapist said, you've just done that. And I went, I didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah. We could do a part 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to chest my text.
This is what being a superhero is like. This is what Superman's phone just going off all night with thanks, is it? And follow-ups. It's the stuff we don't see, isn't it?
Well, it's also because I've said I'll pick you up from the hospital, and I know it's going to be 3:30, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, just when you're nodding off.
I'll just be on TikTok.
Yeah, I've got 3
good
life hacks.
Right, I'm going to sit back and enjoy these.
Well, when I say life hacks, they're all around positivity, and I did have the first one is set 3 goals for the day, but you've just kind of come in with your absolute tsunami of a good idea.
Time bands.
With your time band, yeah.
We're basically...
There's a book brewing here.
Time bandits?
68. No. We need to work on the name. 68 so much, but if you do a whole book called 68 and build that in, I think you're onto a winner. This, I think, can still be relevant. If you set 3 attainable goals for each day, you'll build momentum. We've talked about some of these things before. Ticking off things is great counterbalance to inertia and halts self-criticism in its tracks. It reinforces a belief that you're making progress.
Yes.
Some people react well to doing, I'm just going to get these 1, 2, 3 things done today. I'm not going to do 17 things.
But maybe...
But some people can go, well, I can't do the one thing, let alone, which then you go, well, actually flip it and think about time. So I think...
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. If the goals can exactly be just doing something for a set amount of time, then you'll do it, I think. Yeah.
Second one, you don't have to believe your negative thoughts. Start with analysing your thoughts when they come to your mind instead of immediately overthinking them. You don't have to believe your thoughts right away.
I saw something related to that today that said if I had to choose a superpower, it would be checking myself before I spoke.
Before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah. I just looked at a few of the comments and I think this is a superpower. The ability to listen to what someone said or to take it in or not to
to say nothing.
Yes.
I've learned that a lot in business, just in meetings.
Yeah.
Best way is to stay attentive, especially when you start overthinking. Analyse what you think, how you feel, and lead you to think about these specific things. Learn to direct the consequences and problems that result from your overthinking. I mean, that's probably a little bit complex, but what I take away from that is the things you think aren't your truths or anybody else's. They're reactions to things. They're kind of they're pre-programmed responses to things. Stuff that hasn't happened, stuff that isn't happening, stuff that is never going to happen. And if it did, it won't be as bad as you think.
Yeah.
Like your post. We try to deal with each one of those letters as it comes into your mind. And you can't. Just they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Leave them on the side for a bit. Sleep on it. Come back to it. Also, next day, they might not even be there.
Yeah. And the thoughts and emotion things, one of the things we do on borderline, on the DBT therapy it's dealing with facts, and an emotion isn't based on fact. And generally a thought isn't based on fact because you've contrived something. Yeah. It might be based on an expectation. Yeah. But I was just thinking then, and like we're saying, basically the thing we said at the beginning was that a neighbour was in a bit of crisis because of an accident she'd had. I've been basically just helping her, and then I've said to the paramedics, this is the phone number because she's by herself and wouldn't have had any way of getting back from the hospital. And I know the days of sort of being taken back quite often, it's like if you can walk, then make your way home.
Yeah, right.
But what I was going through in my mind is that there was a couple of people that had texted me earlier this evening, just sort of general inquiries or just asking how I was or whatever. And I'm thinking, I've been there with the paramedics and then I drove here. And then we've gone into the pod and everything is running late. And you were saying about, the excuse or whatever. And then we're going to leave here and then I'm going to drive back. And in that period of time, I'm sure a couple of those people are going, that's not like Mark, not to get back to me. Or am I being ignored? Or have I upset
You're
him?
so selfish.
Yeah. And I think, yeah. And it's that point is like, if the expectation is, well, normally he's very quick at replying, and I didn't know that he had anything on, and I know he finished training at 7. Do you know what I mean? Our thoughts then conjure up whole scenarios that aren't true.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens with social media because of the immediacy of it.
Yeah.
We overthink.
Well, the thing we're actually seeing is the only thing you need to see.
Mm-hmm. Explain that. It sounds good, but I don't get it.
The fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're seeing 0.5% of the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing we concentrate on is the 99.5%.
Go on.
The thing that takes our... So you see a picture, someone's on a beach, they're having a nice time. But what we think is, how have they got there when no one's travelling?
Yes.
That looks really hot. Where are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that beach, that's a resort. That's quite expensive. How can they afford that?
Yeah.
I didn't know they've got a new job. Oh, I can't go on holiday. I'd love to be there.
And that's a false tan. And
rather than just going, oh, it's a nice picture.
Yes.
It's everything else that you don't know anything about. You don't know the content, how they're there, why they're there, if it's actually them or not. All those kind of things.
No, that's
the things that occupy
example.
your mind.
Yeah. If you remember back when I started my therapies, that's 36 weeks ago, I gave an example on mindfulness of sitting in a park but putting blinkers on so that I only watch the person when they're in front of my face. And I've started doing that again. And what I've realised is my first feeling was if I saw someone walking, I wanted to see what they looked like. So I sort of turned to the right as they walked. And then I'd started making judgments about how attractive they were, how ugly they were, how tall they were, what their job was, what their nationality was, why were they wearing that coat, their shoes needed clean. Then they went in front of my face, and instead of letting that thought be a cloud on a boat and disappear, I then look as they pass my gaze, and I'm going, they're walking quite funny, and they've got big... Do you know what I mean? And all those thoughts... And it's exactly your point. A person in a coat has walked in front of me.
That is all that's happened.
Yes. Everything else is a judgment, and it doesn't serve any purpose. It's like, so what that they've got big feet, small feet?
Yeah, it's your mind just telling stories, isn't it?
And that's so busy, isn't it?
It is
and we're
busy,
doing that with everybody we see.
Yeah. The third one was flip your language. We kind of talked about this a minute ago, not necessarily language, but I guess the way you think. But language is a massive part of this.
Yeah.
So everyday positive language. So first one is changing from something to something else. So why not becomes sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
This is right up your street because of the text.
Yeah.
No problem to become definitely. You don't like no problem anyway, do you?
No. Or no worries, I dislike more.
Yeah. Number 3, can't complain. Change that to everything's going well, thanks.
Yeah.
I get that when some people ask me. And I go, yeah, fine. But it might internally I'm going, no, actually. Do you know what I mean? Or I will never come back with, yeah, no, everything's great. I go, okay, which I know you hate. It's the halfway between, I don't want to tell them how I'm really feeling.
Yeah.
And I can't quite lie my arse off that.
I'd rather lie my arse off now. I use I'm great. There's a series of cartoons, that guy I'm following on Instagram, and I've forgotten his name, and they're all just 2 speech bubbles, and one person's going, how are you doing? And then the only thing that changes is the response. And there was one yesterday, and it said, how are you doing? And he goes, fuck off, I don't owe you anything. And I thought that's sometimes the response. It's like, I don't want to be troubled by that question. I'm not even going to do, I'm okay.
So these phrases are meant to be positive, but the human brain has a negative bias and subconsciously brings up all the reasons not to do something, problems or complaints when processing these words. The fourth one was for change, I'm exhausted, to I need a rest.
Yeah.
Flipping the phrase to include a solution leaves both the speaker and the listener with a better taste in their mouths. Positive language at work. And the last one I've got here is change I forgot, to I'll make sure I set a reminder. Again, focusing on what could be done will help the people around you expect a positive result. They're all very, very small shifts, aren't they? But I think we kind of convince ourselves. Like me going, yeah, I'm okay. Oh, that's all I'm going to be, isn't it? If I go, no, I'm really good today. There's a whole load of stuff I haven't kind of included, and we've probably skirted on, which we can put in the next one. But about smiling, and you've talked about half smile and stuff like that. Yeah. But actually smiling changes your whole...
Yes. You can kid your brain,
even if you're on your own.
So maybe turn that frown upside down is a good one.
Yeah. got to finish, Mark.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode. Well done for getting this far. Thanks for listening. Give us a follow on Instagram at I'mFinecast and send your feedback and ideas to I'mFinecast@gmail.com. In the next episode, we're going to do another little bit of this, I think.
Yeah. But refer maybe more to the mental health side than the...
And maybe put the 20 minutes in that we didn't record.
Yeah.
And also, we'll probably, or I'll definitely try and squeeze in, this is all about language, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to squeeze in a little review and highlights package.
Okay.
It's going to have to be succinct, isn't it, if we're going to waffle on
Because there's
again.
so many highlights.
Yeah, because in a week Monday, on the 30th of August, we'll have been doing this a year, Mark. Every single week.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had a break.
No.
And even if we had, we double recorded.
Yeah.
So our listeners weren't left with
hanging.
Okay, there's probably been a few days I haven't hit. I've been a couple of days late, but generally everyone's got something every week for the last 51 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go away for a week. I don't know whether you're around that week, but we weren't.
You invited me to come.
Well, maybe. I haven't got anything planned for that week. So we're probably going to have, I don't know, we're going to have a bit of a break and maybe a bit of a rethink about our lives in general. About the pod and a bit of redesign.
Yeah.
A bit kind of like interior design. Knock a few walls out.
Yeah, sort of a great reset.
And we'll build back better.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else before you drift off into the night?
Yeah.
Like a PT ninja. Okay, you got to go and do your other superhero stuff again.
I have.
Cool. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.